Hey, what's up? Clapback Thursdays. Let's start with the WBC and ordering Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Ordering? What does that mean? They ordered Canelo Benavidez like 3 years ago, and that hasn't happened. William will make his decision very soon, and he has 3 other options. Shakur Stevenson, you're a free agent, you're a great fighter, great talent, but not for me. I believe that when somebody says you're not fighting for the public, I cannot promote. Now, there's a lot of rumors going on that the Saudis are going to take over boxing and buy out every single promoter. Well, guess what? I haven't been approached, so don't believe everything you read. Clapback Thursdays.
What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So, we got Canelo Alvarez in the news and Edgar Berlanga. It looks like this fight is being finalized for September or whatnot. This is Michael Benson, who is a trusted source, and he says Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga is reportedly now being finalized for Canelo's undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO super middleweight world title on September 14th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. All right. Now, as I was looking at this, I was looking at some of the things that the people were saying on there, and I wanted to read just some of the you know the fans. I wanted to read some of their responses. So, you know, this guy says Edgar has done nothing to deserve a shot before David. Canelo been moving funny. And the reason why I want to bring this, not only why I want to bring you this, I want you to also hear what Triple G has to say, a fight that Triple G wants to see as well, or whatnot. But then this is the funny one. This guy says, he says, they can keep that fight. I don't even want to stream it illegally. Shout out to whoever Drew is, bro. Oh my gosh, that had me rolling when I saw that. I was rolling like, dude, I don't even want to watch this fight illegally, bro. Like, hell no, I'm straight. Then, as you guys can see, this is what they think about you. It says Canelo just stacking pepper at this point. It says, anybody care to inform me why he gets a fight before David Benavidez? I mean, and whoever can inform him, can you please inform me as well? It says, what did Berlanga do to earn this? And then it says, what has Berlanga done to deserve a title shot? No way he is acceptable as a challenger to the unified 168-pound belts at this point. So a lot of people are upset, you know, at this, as you know, we all said they would be, you know. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that this is not the fight that, you know, any of the fans want. I mean, let's just keep it 100 here. But let's hear what Triple G has to say, because you know, I guess we're all haters, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure the Canelo fanboys will find a way to argue somehow. But the real boxing fans, the real Canelo fans, the real boxing fans are gonna hold Canelo accountable to this, because I mean, this is just a fight that does not need to happen. But let's hear what Triple G has to say, or let me read to you what Triple G has to say. So shout out to secondsout.com. It says Gennady Golovkin makes stunning Canelo Benavidez fight prediction. I would love to see that fight. If there is one man who knows what it's like to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, then it's Gennady Golovkin. The now retired but once fearsome middleweight wrecking ball Triple G strung together a record-breaking number of knockout wins. In all, he managed 23 consecutive knockouts that spanned from 2008 to 2016, stopping the likes of... He did not stop Danny Jacobs, so that's crazy. He beat Danny Jacobs, but he didn't stop him. But stopping the likes of, it says Danny Jacobs, but that's not true. David Lemieux, Sergey Derevyanchenko, Kell Brook, Martin Murray, and Willie Monroe Jr. Triple G was known for his come forward high pressure style and granite chin. Dog probably gotta have one of the top 5 best chins in boxing, bro. But anyways, never have been put down in the boxing ring. That includes across 3 technical all-action fights with Canelo. The first being a controversial split draw. I definitely thought Gennady Golovkin won the first fight. The second being a disputed loss in 2018. I thought that Canelo won the second fight, but I'm not mad for anybody that thinks that Gennady Golovkin won. But I thought Canelo did enough to win the fight by little. And the third and final match was a clear defeat in 2022, after which Golovkin had not fought again. Speaking to Mayan Tiger Sports journalist, Golovkin was asked whether he thought Canelo would take on the younger challenger in David Benavidez in a fight we'd love to see. I'm not an expert on Canelo, so I cannot say whether he would take this fight or not, but as a fan of boxing, I would love to see this fight. I hope the fight would take place. When is another question a question of boxing, of business, but that would be an interesting fight to watch. Oh shoot, damn, it just skipped up over a lot. Excuse us, y'all. He was then asked for a winner and predicted a draw, the same results as his first fight with the super middleweight ruler. It's a loaded question. I think it would be a draw. In order for a trilogy to happen, we need a draw first. Benavidez is a former super middleweight champion, though after long pursuing Canelo, last time out he moved up to light heavyweight to beat Alexander Golovkin, whatever, and become an interim WBC belt holder. I feel like he didn't really get enough credit for that fight, bro. Alexander Golovkin is a good fighter. But I guess maybe because he had been out of the loop for so long, I don't know. He being Alexander, or whatnot. So he predicts, oh, that I didn't think that was it. Okay. Well, he predicts a draw, but again, Triple G is another fighter that feels like that's the fight that should happen. So does that make Triple G a hater too? Says Berlanga confidently predicts 1 million pay-per-view buys hinting at the fight with Canelo Alvarez in September. Shout out to BoxingNews24.com. It says Edgar Berlanga predicts his fight will hit 1 million pay-per-view buys, hinting that he believes he will be chosen for the Canelo fight in September. The unbeaten #1 ranked WBA mandatory 168 contender Berlanga passed up an opportunity to challenge David Morrell for his title, hoping that he gets selected by Canelo and he might get his wish. My first pay-per-view fight will crack 1 million pay-per-view buys, Edgar Berlanga said on X, predicting a massive success for his fight. Not enough New Yorkers are interested in watching Berlanga fight Canelo Alvarez to bring 1 million pay-per-view buys. Berlanga is only popular in sections of New York State. His popularity is narrow to parts of the city, and he is a no name in the rest of the U.S. That's why I feel like a lot of these boxers got to be in touch with reality. I mean, yes, bro. Of course, when you watch, like, cause I saw the interview where Berlanga was saying like how people or walk up to him, in his hood in the Bronx, and they walk up to him and they're like, hey, we want to see you and Canelo, like, but you gotta be in touch with reality, my dude. Like, that's just one section, a small percentage of the world or whatnot. Not even, probably not even 0.1% of the world, and you got to think about it, dog. Like, yeah, they're saying that, and that's cool, but because if you got your hood behind you, that's great. But at the end of the day, dog, like, it's about the reality of it. Reality is not enough people really know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's no knock on Berlanga. I just feel like Berlanga needs to build himself up. You turned down the fight with, or you missed, you could have had a fight with David Morrell. And look, honestly speaking, just truthfully, I'm gonna just put something in perspective, y'all. I mean, it's just 100%, right? Honestly, yes. It's not a duck because he's fighting Canelo Alvarez, right? So I can't call it a duck because that's what I love about my channel. It's just so easy for me to be consistent because I hold everybody to the same grounds. Canelo is obviously the more accomplished fighter. He has more to offer, brings more financially and more business. So it's not a duck, okay? Can't say that. But however, I feel like your team feels like you're not ready for David Morrell. And how could you be ready for Canelo Alvarez if you haven't even tested yourself against the likes of the David Morrells, the Caleb Plants, the David Benavidez, even the Jaime Munguiz? And I don't think that he is on any of those guys' level. If I'm just being honest. No shade to him, but it's just my honest opinion. Canelo versus Berlanga would bring pay-per-view buys from fans who wanted to see Berlanga get exposed as a fake by Canelo. It would be one of those fights where people will watch just to see Canelo lose. Fans would heavily ridicule the much, but the casuals might not care. They just want to see Canelo fight, and they bring out anyone from the street, and they'll happily order the match on pay-per-view. It would invite much criticism if Canelo chooses the Eddie Hearn promoted Berlanga in his next opponent, because he's viewed as an example of a fighter that's well maneuvered by promoters and created a fake manufactured contender that has no substance. And the thing is, I don't even view him as a fake fighter, like as a hype job. I just think he needs to be built more, bro. I think Berlanga can possibly be a good solid name at 168 pounds. He just needs to be built more. And right now, I'll give you a prime example, bro. I'll go ahead and say it on here. Do you guys remember, obviously you remember Fernando Vargas, right? You remember how they built him and how they rushed him to Tito Trinidad and how they rushed him to Canelo Alvarez? Like, this is a situation like that, except for Berlanga has not even proved himself on a Fernando Vargas level at that particular moment. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's other options for September: undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, who has a record of 61-2 with 39 KOs, has two options for his next fight: Berlanga and Chris Eubank Jr. Both trash. Those, I mean, listen, I'll break that down in a minute. The only appeal for Canelo fighting 34-year-old Eubank Jr. is fighting in England, but that doesn't seem to be realistic for September, given Anthony Joshua is already scheduled to fight on the 21st of that month. It's not a good idea to schedule another fight close to that date in a country. You don't want to schedule two big fights close together, because that's not good for business. Eubank Jr. is useless to Canelo to fight in U.S. because American fans don't know who he is, and the ones that do view him as a non-achieving, flawed fighter who has no chance of being competitive against Canelo Alvarez, aka me. If Canelo wants to receive less criticism from the fight fans, he should forget about Berlanga and Chris Eubank and focus on fighting these fighters in September. Christian Mobility, that's a good fight. I mean, I don't think that he's ready for Canelo, but I'm so interested to see him fight the likes of these other guys. And Christian Mobility is making his name. Diego Pacheco, too soon. I would rather see, these are the guys that Edgar Berlanga should be fighting. And of course, everybody knows David Benavidez. The biggest problem Canelo has is that the super middleweight division lacks popular fighters. There's only Benavidez, as he's not an 168-pound guy. He's a guy who melts down from 175 pounds to beat small oppositions. That's not true. The man, whatever, bro. That's obviously why Canelo has been reluctant to fight him. He's not a true super middleweight. Oh, but wait a second, dog. Now here's where this is why I say I catch guys like this. You're the same person that gives Canelo Alvarez credit for beating Sergey Kovalev. You criticize the people who criticize Canelo for taking that fight, right? And you said Canelo deserved. This is the same writer that says Canelo deserves all credit for beating Sergey Kovalev. So if he deserves all credit for moving up to 175 to beat Sergey Kovalev, then why is it a big problem with him fighting David Benavidez, bro? You gave him full credit for beating Sergey Kovalev. So why do you not think that he should fight David Benavidez? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's hard for you guys to stay. It's so hard for you guys to stay on code because you guys switch up your story so much. But me, I keep it consistent. Oh my gosh, I keep it consistent. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm so confident in saying I don't think this fight does a million pay-per-view buys. Let me see. Canelo, let me see. I think him and Triple, let me see. Hold on. What was his last fight? Oh, his last fight was against, Jaime Munguia. I don't know how many. Hold on. Him and Jaime Munguia did like 500,000 pay-per-view buys. Those are good numbers. And Jaime Munguia is more known than Edgar Berlanga. So I think that him and Edgar Berlanga probably do like 400,000, maybe 200,000 pay-per-view buy, something like that, because this is not a lot of people want to see this fight. It's just point blank, a period. All right. So but looks like this is gonna go down. I'll drop my predictions, which is not gonna be hard, and I'll do a breakdown of the fight, which is not gonna be hard. Once they announce this fight, but looks like this is where it's headed to. Fortunately, and this guy that you're looking at right now is not gonna get the fight ever, like I kind of figured. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?